Hello everyone, it's Get Silliance once again, giving you guys an impression of a game that I have recently been playing, and that game I've been playing recently has been Kriegsfront Tactics, the Prologue. This game was developed and published by Toge Productions. It's a really good game. I'll give more details about it, and you guys will be asking me, why did I look up this game? Why is this game on my radar? You guys know I love RPGs of all kinds. I'm a huge RPG fan of SRPGs, TRPGs. It's an RPG, I'm down for it. And to be super honest with you, I've heard, from places that chicks dig giant robots. I dig giant robots, and I like RPGs, so this is definitely up my alley to try out. And I want to give a personal shout out to Toge Production for providing me the key to play this game. And without the way, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the Outerhaven YouTube channel so you can check out more reviews, impressions, podcasts, gaming, videos, live streams, and more here at the Outerhaven YouTube channel. So without the way, let's talk more and more about what's going on here. So, what is Kriegsfront Tactics? It's Prologue. It is a procedural, turn-based mecha RPG that has elements of, let's say, military simulations, and has RPG mechanics similar to games like XCOMs, and the graphics are really one of the highlights of the game. It's graphically impressive, having that old school PS1, like maybe early Dreamcast X graphics, where, it's like playing Metal Gear Solid 1, and I would say describe it as that, and does a really good job. So before I get into the game, let's talk about the game's lore. I think I really enjoy a lot. This game takes place in an alternate 70s or 80s, if I remember correctly. Because I know it's kind of between it. It's like a Vietnam-ish. It pretty much, I call it Nam but with mechas, where there's clearly a war that's not a good idea to be having. They're fighting in the jungle with mechs, and things get dicey really fast. And woo! That's all I can say about that. No spoilers or anything about that. The game does a really, really good job of putting that fear of enemies come from anywhere from you, because this game doesn't operate, I would say, like other tactic roguelike games where I would say line of sight as a mechanic is one of my 50-50s how I hate or like it, but it depends on the game. Like Fog of War and other games where it's like, well, I really can't do anything unless I move, and then if I move, let's say I'm playing conservative and I move 3 spaces a turn, well, the game gets drawn out because I can't see in front of me or whatever, and then let's say the enemy has super AI, they know our position, they shoot me, and it's a whole thing. Anyway, that's Fog of War, the bad side of Fog of War. The good side of Fog of War is games like this, or I would say some XCOM style games, where that your line of sight is consistent across the board, and you're able to see enemies, and you can flank them, and you hit them. Enemies can hide in terrain, much like you can in this game. What makes this game very unique in Kriegsfront is that cover can be destroyed by, well, you're in a giant robot. Do the math, you destroy it with missiles. Missiles are cool. So, you're killing them with missiles, you're getting the job done, 5 stars. But here's the thing. Because you're playing guerrilla-style tactics, you're not going to get the opportunity as much to reload your missile damage, or reload your missiles, or your mortar strikes, or things that would help you get some instant KO punch you need for a fight. So you're kind of running on borrowed time and borrowed money. And because the enemy can swarm you, and you can swarm them if you know, it's a whole lot. So get used to really pinpointing your accuracy. This game has a cool mechanic that I enjoy from classic SRPGs and RPG games, where it has permadeath, where if somebody dies in your squad, that's it. That's it. They're not coming back. And I really miss that in games, because it's it adds a little more depth, and I would say in this case more realism to the thing, where it's well, you're in a war, as well as it makes your choices matter more. Let's just say for some reason you didn't like a certain unit. You said, screw this guy, I'm going to use him as a meat shield, let me get killed, that's it. Hey man, you can do that, go for it, but you may not get the ending you want. That's about it. So, do what you do, but you have to plan. Every decision makes planned by you. Now, you also can, as mentioned, use cover to hide, you use cover to obscure. It's a really cool things going on in the game. I like how, they have multiple unit styles. You have people who are good, melee style, shotgun, all-rounder, and my personal favorite, sniper. Sniper is just good. This game has a cool mechanic where you can pinpoint the enemies when you're using free aim mode or aim mode. You can target a certain body part of the enemy and cripple them. So if you kind of want to get, let's just say, you know you're going to win the fight, and this one unit's been bothering you the whole game, you could take out its legs and its arms and just beat the crap out of it just for the hell of it. Instead of just making a slow death, you could make it, and I hate to say it, personal. I'm not saying that's a good thing. It's a phase. You can keep it that way, but you could be the biggest hater. Okay, you could be the biggest hater right now if you want to do that. That's not my personal strategy. You gotta, like, the least amount of items you win, you can win. But if you want to make it personal, hey, you can keep it that way. Just do what you gotta do. That's what I write. So that's up to you. I do find it interesting though, from like a mechanic standpoint. Like, even if you're not going for the, I mentioned the torture route, there are some enemies that like carry like a bazooka or a sniper in their right arm, and that's way more important than trying to take out their armor, because you take out the sniper, they can't use it, or their weapon, and they have an instant chance of getting them, and that's really cool. So I like that. I like that overall as a mechanic and things doing, so it adds like a little more depth to it. So again, like, I would say that this game is a combination of like SRPGs and like XCOM style, where positioning and Overwatch, a lot of those mechanics you see floating around kind of like blend together in this game, and it works pretty well, and I give a really appreciation for that. So I like another thing too, because it's the guerrilla warfare style, you should not take every fight you could see on the map. You can control your movement before you go to your next base. Play the objective. I recommend, I really say this, do not take every fight you can, because remember, filling up your gas to make your tank go, make your mecha go. Make sure you have enough missiles and items to make sure you have the next fight on lock if you get it. It's probably sometimes better is to hide and valor and get out of that situation. So I really enjoy this game for like emphasizing that. Like, it's not like you're on power, because you can curb some enemies to the ground if you waste your resources, but it's the next fight after it, and war takes a toll on you. So I really enjoy the game for doing that. If I had to give this game an opinion for what I would say is impression-wise, I would say that this game is very niche in what it does. I haven't seen a mech style, let's say RPG in a long time. And I mean, like, not a turn-based one. I'm talking like a tactics mech RPG. And I haven't seen one. It's just like Front Mission, I think. Oh god, it's been a while. Because Armored Core is a dueling one. Virtual 1 is a dueling one. Wolfstride is more of a turn-based kind of like chess one. If you're just looking for a tactical, like, war mecha RPG that reminds you of like Mobile Suit Gundam and Robotech and all those really cool, like, old school, and I really do love the design of robots that they get. That's such an old school, like, classic anime. And I mean classic, I really mean like Mobile Suit era style mecha stuff. So if you really want this game, I would say for you personally, get it now. I get it now. If it's for you, get it now. If you love robots, you love mecha, you love RPGs, this is a get it now for you. But for everyone else, I would personally say you gotta wait for a sale, because this game is definitely different for everybody else. This game is a game that I feel like would appeal to people, but if a normal RPG fan or RPG casual play this, it would be very daunting for them to learn, because this game is very punishing. But overall, in my personal opinion, I'm leaning to get it now. Get it now because I'm an RPG fan. Obviously, I enjoy it. It has such a unique premise. It's a cool game. I recommend trying it because it's like there's not a lot of games in that kind of fits this kind of niche, and I think if this does well, play it. So definitely, if you haven't already, try out Kriegsfront Tactics from Toge Productions, and I want to give them a shout out once again for allowing me to try the game. That's my impressions of Kriegsfront Tactics Prologue. I think it's a really fun and interesting mecha RPG. I think it hits that itch of mecha RPGs that I haven't played in such a long time. And for casuals, you might have to wait when it's on a sale, or you put it a little later, because it's very difficult. But if you want to dive in, this is an excellent experience to get into. Without the wait, this is Get Silliest signing out, and I'll see you guys all on the battlefield next time.